on to the predicted 11 going out to Monaco tomorrow, 8 o'clock kickoff. Team news is in, but not officially in yet because Thomas Frank's press conference is a bit later. But what's the team news, Brian?
Well, thankfully it's just injuries, not just injuries. It's no suspensions. We've got James Maddison, obviously the long-term ones. James Maddison, Kulusevski, Dragusin is obviously back in training but not ready. Dominic Solanke is still recovering from his surgery. Romero and Destiny have not trained, so we've put as doubts because you just don't know. There might be a curveball, but highly unlikely to see Romero or Destiny.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is the team news. I think it's a big kick in the teeth, this Romero injury and the Udogie injury, both of them, because I think Romero hurts us so much when he doesn't play in terms of ball progression, and I think Udogie offers us so much more going forward than Jed as well. However, Jed, I think, a lot more solid the other way. So you get a bit of give and take with Udogie and Spence. But anyway, let's get into this predicted lineup.
Let's do it.
4-3-3, we're predicting as per usual. In goal, is there a case for Kinski to start this game, or do we think Vicario comes straight back in?
I think it's 2-2. I think Vicario has got this game and Everton. And if there's more mishaps, let's say, or more clangers that are definitely him, if Kinski has a very good game at Newcastle, then I think there's a conversation. I think this may be too soon for Kinski.
I agree. I mean, did you see the article on Football London a few days ago saying that they're disappointed in the development of Kinski and they felt like since he's come out of the team at the back end of last season, his development has regressed?
I hadn't seen that. That's worrying. That is worrying. Obviously, Vicario as well. Joe, me and Iggy were doing the watch log, and I thought for the first goal, a lot of people saying that he was completely at fault. I saw people saying his positioning. I think that not kind of knuckle shot. I didn't put as much blame on Vicario as I did other goals or other people were. But I think Champions League, I mean, he needs a big game, doesn't he? I mean, we hope he has a very, very quiet game. But if he needs to be on his tip-top best for the next couple of games, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, Vicario, we're putting in goal. Right back, I think it's pretty simple, Pedro Porro.
Yeah, I think the whole defence is pretty simple. It picks itself, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, so I mean, Pedro Porro right back.
Yep.
Right centre-back has got to be your favourite player, big Kevin Danso.
Super Kevin Danso.
And yeah, Kevin Danso started the last Champions League game, didn't he, out in Bodo? He started the last Premier League game. I think the thing is, Kevin Danso, you know what you're going to get with him. You're going to get hard man defending, really good in the air, but I think sometimes he lets himself down with his playing out the back. Yeah,
I mean, if you look at it, I think that's the part that Romero obviously excels in, and it's very, very evident when Romero's not there. But I sometimes think, especially when you've got someone like Van der Ven, a more cultured defender, sometimes I think some of the best partnerships were like Ferdinand and Vidic, where you got the one elegant ball-playing one and the one hard as nails, take no prisoner. And for me, that's Kevin Danso. I don't think there's been a single game where he's been played for us where he's let us down at any point. And do you know what? His dominance in the air is outstanding.
As a pure defender, yeah, you're right. Like, I think he's brilliant for us, but I think in the modern game you need a bit more than that.
That could develop. I mean, you look at him, I think, I said to you yesterday after you finished that I would have given Kevin Danso a minimum 7 or 8 against Villa. You both gave him a 6, I think. I get that obviously, being able to be a defender and playing with the ball now is vital in modern day football. But sometimes you just need that rock to just, if the pressure's there, just deal with it, get it out. And yeah, sometimes his passing is a little bit lacklustre, but there's room for development there. And what we need him to do is defend, and at that he is brilliant, in my opinion.
All right, so that's Kevin Danso at right centre-back. Left centre-back, obviously, is going to be the ever-reliable Mickey Van der Ven, which, probably be captain on the day as well, was captain on the weekend. And, he's been brilliant this season once again, hasn't he?
Yep. I mean, when it comes to him, obviously, there was a lot of talk, wasn't it? If playing this not as high line, is Mickey as good as a defender when he hasn't got to use his pace all the time to get us out of jail? I think he's been magnificent this season. I think he has shown...
Rolls Royce, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's shown that he can defend just as well without using his pace as he does with it. I would say him, Kudus and Paulinho have been the standout players this season by a country mile, and another great performance coming in from him.
Absolutely. And then to make up that back four, we're going to go for Jed Spence at left back. Jed, I think he needs to work on building those relationships a bit better with the forward line. I still think, he's performing well. I can't say a game where he hasn't performed well. I think, he always gives you that good level of performance. Defensively, nothing really gets past him. But I think, like, the offensive side of the game, he just needs to add a bit more tools to his armoury.
Yeah, I mean, the difference we see with Spence compared to Destiny, because of obviously being a natural left footer, when he's there, especially with Odegaard, he just hasn't got that sense to overlap or the quality on his left foot to deliver. Defensively, he's razor sharp, isn't he? Very, very few get the better of him defensively, and he brings the ball out well, but it's just frustration, obviously, when he does go on runs and then he has to check back in onto his right foot and slow the game down. But defensively, you can't fault him.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the back four we're going for. So obviously Vicario in goal with Pedro Porro right back, Jed Spence left back with Dan So and Mickey van der Ven as the centre-back pairing. In the midfield is where it gets a bit interesting. Obviously, in the last game he favoured Paulinho and Bentancur as the deeper players. Do you feel they both start again? Do you feel he only goes with one of them, or what are you thinking?
This is where it gets, like I said, this is where it gets interesting, because again, you've got to take into consideration what's he going to do with Kudus and Simmons.
Yeah.
And it's when you go into this game now, what do you think we're looking at more? Do we want that defensive solidity, or do we want that creativity and don't want to have a slow come out the gates? And does he do one creator, two? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm undecided. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing Paulinho and Bentancur in this game. An away game in the Champions League, you need to have your wits about you. He seems to love Bentancur, but he seems to love Paulinho as well. But also, like, at opportunities given, he has given Paulinho a rest. I think in this game he should stick with Paulinho. I would like to see Paulinho with Sarr alongside him. That's what I would like to see.
That's what I wanted to see on Sunday. I think Paulinho, for what he offers and what he does, and like you saw against Villa, his work rate and attention to danger and alertness, I actually think Paulinho is undroppable. I really do. You could see how much he offers and how much we missed that type of player in recent seasons. I think no matter what, you have to start in the big games with Paulinho. So he's definitely...
All right, so we'll go Paulinho in the middle there. So alongside him, are we going to go... So we probably should have gone for a 4-2-3-1 actually instead of a 4...
Can you change it now, or does it mess it all up?
Don't worry, we changed it there.
Oh, look at that.
So we're going to go alongside Paulinho. It's basically one of Sarr, Bentancur, Gray, Bergvall.
Yeah, I think it's too early for Gray in the Champions League. Although I think Gray definitely starts at Newcastle, or I hope he does. This one, I would start. I would want Sarr. I think it's between Sarr and Bentancur.
I've got a feeling he goes with Pape in a view for Bentancur coming back in against Everton on the weekend. Yeah. However, I might prefer it to be the other way around, with Bentancur playing this game and Sarr playing at Everton.
Well, we've got to find our way to do it in the Premier League, haven't we? And you've got to remember, Premier League away form, is he going to change it when it's been so successful in the Premier League? I think we'll go Paulinho and Bentancur in the Premier League to keep that away record going.
All right, so we go Pape.
Let's do it.
All right, we'll go Pape alongside João Paulinho. And I'm assuming, like, in the 10, we stick with Xavi Simons?
Got to. And hopefully the Champions League environment, and he can have a very, very productive and game that could hopefully spark a run of very, very good form, because he just looked lost. Because we couldn't get the ball to him on Sunday, we need to find... We've bought this guy to be the creator and unlock things, and we can't get him to unlock things unless we get the ball to him.
Yeah, absolutely. And, he keeps trying to come deep and in search of the ball, and It's just not working for him at this moment in time, and he needs to just find that spark. And once he finds that spark, and he can't just do it by himself, it's a team effort.
Yep.
But once he finds it, I think there's going to be no looking back from Javi Simons. The guy's got so much quality about him,
Yep.
and you saw it when he came on in that Brighton game, right?
Yep. I mean, that game when people were going mad that he was coming off the bench, I kind of understood it. And to have that kind of calibre of player to come on the bench and influence the game is massive. Like we were looking at Villa on Sunday with Bundia and Watkins.
Yeah.
So he came on and you saw in that little cameo, he could have had a couple of goals as well, couldn't he? He, when he's in that kind of mood, can be absolutely outstanding and a massive part of what we do. And like I said, I've got no doubt when he gets that one game where that kind of eureka moment, then there's no looking back, like you said.
So Xavi in the 10. Let's start off with the number 9. I think Richarlison's nailed on to start this game. I think Moani's probably not ready yet, albeit it's a league that Moani knows well, obviously with his time at PSG. Tell obviously can't play, who's been number 9 in the last couple of games. So Richarlison's got to play.
Richarlison's got to play, and I tell you what, Richarlison's got to get amongst the goals, hasn't he? Because
amongst the performances, man, because you remember in the first couple of games of the season, like that Burnley game is the best I've ever seen Richarlison in a Spurs shirt, you know.
And Man City.
Man City, you know, he was dropping deep, he was linking up the play, he was holding up the play better than I've ever seen him do it. And ever since then, he just hasn't done the same.
And PSG he was great.
Yeah, those 3 games.
He was fantastic. But yeah, I think the worrying thing is the Wolves game that we were at, Leeds, when he came on, and as I saw with you with the Villa game, when he comes off the bench, I can't remember a single thing he's actually done.
Yeah.
And that's not good. So I think it's vital that he gets amongst the goals tomorrow and puts in a performance like the first 3 games of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it's more important for me that he has a good performance as opposed to getting a goal. Like, just have a good performance, you know. Don't be invisible. Like, the last couple of games, he's just been invisible.
Yep.
Barely got a touch, barely getting involved, not putting himself about. A ghost.
Do you think when Moani has had some more minutes and is ready to start, do you reckon we'd get more out of Richie on the left, like we were doing in Europe, rather than a Tell and Odebear? Do you reckon with his experience, and he has played off that left side, do you reckon, let's say now a Richarlison Odebear partnership isn't going to be as successful as, let's say, a Moani and Richarlison on the left?
I would say so. Yeah, I would prefer. Yeah, I probably would prefer to see Richarlison on the left and Moani up top. A fit Moani, not in this game. But then maybe an Odebear and Richarlison. However, I think Odebear has been, you know, getting better and better. I think he's come under a lot of criticism, but I feel like he's starting to show his worth a little bit.
George obviously came on the fan show and spoke and say that what he was saying about Odebear play. Well, I get what he said. We were, because Kudus was heavily marked, we were getting the ball out to Odebear, and it looks like his confidence at taking men on and running with the ball is definitely improving and getting better. It's just that final ball, that decision making. We had that one that's been shown so many times on Twitter where I think it was Tell or Odebear running there and Simmons is in that space, and then it's Tell, and then we just lose the ball. His decision making's just got to get better, but he does look like out of the Tell and Odebear too, he looks like he's gaining more confidence and more belief in himself and more comfortable in his surroundings. But yeah, Odebear, it's just that final decision.
Well, let's go to the left-hand side of the attack then. I think he's pretty much the only option for us, isn't he?
Or Johnson.
Or Brennan. I mean, since Brennan came out of the team playing on the left, he hasn't played Brennan on the left once. He played him on the right against Doncaster. He doesn't fancy Brennan at all.
No, then he played Brennan Johnson at left wing back for the last part to try and get his pace and more players forward.
But I think it's got to be Odebear on the left.
I agree with you, but I think Brennan Johnson could appear off the bench off the left.
Potentially. Is there no case for Brennan Johnson to start on the right wing instead of Mohamed Kudus?
Well, do you know what? I think actually there could be. And the only reason I say there could be is obviously Kudus did very well for Ghana, helping them qualify for the World Cup. That massive long travel. Then you could see at the end of the Villa game, he looked wary. So could there be
I worry for us, though, if Kudus don't start this game.
But no, if Kudus on the bench and we need some quality brought on, and Monaco are tiring, that could be a very valuable asset.
It's true, but also Brendan Johnson's pretty good off the bench against tiring legs.
Yeah, but think about it, he hasn't had any minutes whatsoever apart from coming off the bench. Do you know what? With this one, obviously we'd all prefer Kudus. We'd all prefer Kudus, and Kudus is the number one right winger. But if we're looking at it, we're going for a period this international break where it literally is playing twice a week until the international break. So he's going to be doing some rotation. Is this game a game where he puts Brennan back on the right? I think that, do you know what? I think this conversation is where we were talking about Sarr. I think this one might be closer than we think. I think there's a debate for both.
I agree.
I think there's a real debate.
The thing is, I kind of get the feeling that Brennan Johnson might actually start, but I just really don't want him to start, and I really want to see Kudus start.
You know what? You know what will happen? Brennan Johnson will start, far post, in it
Johnson
goes.
again, ole ole.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if that happens, happy days.
Exactly. Should we go, Brennan? Should we throw a curveball?
Come on, man.
Because you've got to look at it, and everyone watching. I don't know how many people are watching us right now, but
I just really want to see Kudus play.
no,
man.
we really want to see Kudus play. But again, we're getting to that point of the season where there are a lot of games coming.
Yeah.
The injuries have been stacking up.
Yeah.
He looked wary after international duty. There's going to be a time during this period where he's going to rest some of the stars.
Yeah.
And Kudus, maybe this is the opportunity to do so. Because obviously you bring him on the bench if it's not working. I know there'll be a lot of talk in the comments for this, but I think this one is a real close call. But not because they're close players skill-wise. I think rotation, rest, and having Kudus off the bench might be an ace up his sleeve. Might be a secret weapon.
He did rest Kudus in the last Champions League game as well, and came on, obviously, changed game. But look, let's go Brennan then. Brennan on the right-hand side. So that is our predicted lineup going into the game at Monaco tomorrow night. It is Vicario in goal, Pedro Porro right back, Jed Spence at left back, a back two of Kevin Danso and Mickey van der Ven, Pat Matissar and João Palhinha just below Javi Simons, Brennan Johnson on the right, Wilson Odobert on the left, and Richarlison up top. You see, that forward line doesn't fill me with much confidence. That's the only problem.
Well, let's face it, the forward line that starts at Aston Villa, apart from Kudus, did it fill you with much confidence?
No. It's just where we're at right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just, like we were saying, Thomas Frank has got to find ways to get this attacking line-up firing.
Yeah.
Not saying that Brendan Johnson is the key to everything, but maybe this will help. Maybe this will get things going. Maybe this will give Spurs some different options. We will have to wait and see. But who knows? Who knows? I mean, Richarlison can get amongst the goals.
Can.
Odobert obviously hasn't really got...
Richarlison, Brennan and Javi all got a goal in them, for sure. Yeah. They do, and Pat Matissar does as well. We've seen João Palhinha even does.
Yep. So there's goals in there.
There's goals, but the only problem is that actually for Tottenham, how many goals have they all got between? I guess Brennan and Richarlison have scored a fair amount.
Brendan Johnson's probably got more than that team combined last season. That's where we are. But let's see if he mixes it up. But with that, you've got to remember with Sarr's energy as well on drive, that's going to cause mayhem hopefully for Monaco. We shall see. I wonder what are the chat saying about the Johnson decision.
They said that that you're a bad influence on me.
I'm a bad influence.
That's what they say.
How am I a bad influence?
Because you're influencing me to pick Brennan.
Well, no, like I said, don't get me wrong. Who would I rather see playing? They're Kudus. Yeah. Who's the better player?
No,
Kudus.
I understand, yeah.
There's no doubt that I'd rather see Kudus, but we have to realise now, when we keep talking about this injuries and the injury list that's piling up at the moment, the way we're going to get around this and keep players fit is by rotation, is by keeping players fresh. And then you look at Everton, Newcastle, Chelsea. I can't see Kudus getting the rest anywhere there.
Bergvall a bit unlucky to miss out on this team because, he's been having a really good season so far. didn't get. I mean, he came on, didn't he? But hasn't been in the starting lineup for a couple of games now.
No, I mean, you look at it, that whole midfield. I mean, Sarr started the season on fire.
Yeah.
And then obviously he had his little knock or precaution, then he couldn't get back into the team. Bergvall has done well when he's played. He needs to find the answer to this midfield too, doesn't he? He needs to find the answer, and the only way he's going to find it is by experimenting.
Yeah, very true. But look, that is your predicted lineup. That is your match preview. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Super.